Okay, so now we're on the workbench, and we're going to take the float bowl off the bottom here. Of course, I grabbed the wrong wrench right off the bat. Let's see if I can get this puppy to come apart now. There we go. This is a 1/2 inch. And this is pretty dirty down in there. There's actually are a couple of holes. There's one right in there that you might be able to see, and there's a lot of gunk down in there, so we'll be cleaning that up really well. Whoa! Can you see that down there? That's water. You see that in there? That's gunk. And this is stiff. And the reason it is stiff is right here. I can't hardly see what I'm looking at in the monitor here. This is all gunked up right there. You know what I mean? So we'll take that apart, get it cleaned up, and I think making that move up and down again will take care of our leakage. So we'll clean it up and I'll bring you back. Well, I suppose you'd like to know how I'm going to clean it up. The first thing to do is for me to pull this pivot pin out of here, and it's jammed in there pretty well. But I'll pull that out of there and we'll clean all of this up. I'll just use some carburetor cleaner, I think. And the float seems to be okay, but it's covered with gunk too. So we'll get all this cleaned up, and this comes out, and then the needle valve comes out with the float. Let me show you that. Okay, now you can see me grabbing a hold of this. Yeah, so much junk is getting stuck in my needle nose pliers here. There's the slide pin that holds the float in place. Now you can see the pivot point here, and you can see the needle valve. And it doesn't look all that dirty down inside the needle seat, but we'll be cleaning this all up real well, and we'll bring you back when we're putting it back together. Hold on to your hats. Well, hi guys and gals, it's me George, the the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and we're back. This is the next day, and I had these parts soaking in the parts cleaner overnight, and I still have my float in there. I just flipped it over because the other side was pretty grungy looking, so I'll let that soak for a little longer. And I took this pivot pin out, and it's rather corroded on this end and kind of grungy. So we're going to look up here into our parts drawer and see if we can find another one. There's one there, and that one looks pretty good and clean. And if I had to, I do have another float in here too. I have all kinds of leftover parts from other projects, you know. I didn't get rid of all of my stuff. I got rid of a lot of it, but not all of it. And some of you might remember, looking back to the goofy car, the gadget bike. This linkage here was off of the gadget bike way back when. Yes, it was. Or no, I take that back. This is linkage off the goofy cart before we changed carburetors. That's what that is. Yep. Don't throw anything out. Well, not too much anyway. So let's close that drawer back up so we got room to get at our bench here. So we have this part, and this has been soaking, and it looks much better down in there. Got to run some carburetor cleaner around it, spray can, and do the same with this. This is much better inside, and we'll get it put back together. So I'll put you up on the stand and let's do it. Okay, so first thing we want to do is clean our float bowl off the rest of the way, wipe it out. Which everybody knows how to do that, right? So it's not too bad in there. It has a couple of spots that are a little bit corroded. You can see them. Those black spots, that's actually corrosion. But we're not going to mess with that. It's not rusted through to the outside, so there's no pinholes. So we're ready for that. And I'm going to throw that rod back up in there. And let me get my carburetor cleaner and we'll clean this puppy out. And I want to show you something on this one. Now I'm going to clean it here. Get the rest of the gobbledygook off. And take a piece of Scotch-Brite and run it around on that. Looks like maybe I need to take it over on the wire wheel a little bit. I'll do that and then I'll bring you right back. How's that? Okay, so I've cleaned this off on the wire brush, and you can see there's a hole right here, and then if I rotate that hole goes all the way through. But then up above here, see that little hole right there? We need to make sure this is clean all the way through, and we also need to make sure that this one is clean. Now, what I use is torch cleaner, tip cleaner for a torch, and you just find the appropriate size one. If I can get my fingers untangled here. Of course, these have been around for a while, so they're a little bit bent, but you just take one and you run it through the hole there, and make sure you can see through it, which I can. Now, the one at the very top is teeny tiny, and I'm not so sure that this smallest size is going to work, but let's see. Will it go in there? No, it's too big to go in that hole, just a hair too big. Almost goes in. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this. We're going to take a wire brush and a pair of metal diagonals cutters, and we're going to snip one of these wires off of here if I can get a hold of it. Well, I actually didn't have to snip it off. Came right out. See that? Now, just got to make sure it's clean. And then we can take our nozzle, metering valve, whatever you choose to call it, and we're going to put that right into that hole. Just like that. See that? Goes right in that hole. Make sure it's clean. And we're clean there, and we're clean down inside. I don't know how well you can see down in there. And I'm also going to take this and run this down into the hole that's down in the bottom here. See, there's a hole in the bottom here too. Let me get a light. Okay. Now, can you see that hole down in there? And you see where I have the wire going down in there? Yep. That's to make sure that it goes clear down and that these holes here on each that go through from the bottom are cleared all the way. And then I like to put it in my mouth, which is not a good thing to do probably, and blow through it and make sure it's all clear. And it is. So this little piece uses this washer right here, and like that. And now we have to have our float. Now I use little little Scotch-Brite here to get any loose grunge and particles off. This side here is pretty clean because it's soaked overnight. The other side was not soaking overnight because it floats just like it's supposed to. So we want to make sure we get all the grunge off of it. Okay, so now then we're going to take our needle, which is right here, and we're going to hook that back in. See if I can do this without dropping it. It's easier said than done when you have shaky hands and you're an old guy like me. But that's the basic idea right there. Okay, you got that? Got it figured out? Here we go. So now I'm going to take my carburetor, and I keep going out of frame here. I'm going to put this right down in there, just like that, so the needle goes down into the seat area. And then we're going to take our pivot rod, and we're going to stick that in here. And we'll get the holes lined up. Don't get old. It ain't, being old ain't for sissies. I can tell you that right now. There we go. And it's all the way through there now. You see that? Right there, all the way through. Now we can put our float on. Now you'll notice the float has, the float bowl has a recess on one side. And that recessed area right there goes over the side where the needle valve is. Just like that. Because that side, the float doesn't drop on. It drops on the side away from. Then we'll take our metering valve, which also happens to be like a jet, and put that back in there. And we'll tighten it down with our 1/2-inch wrench. Just snug it up like that, and we should be good to go. So I think now we're ready to take it over and put it back on the lawnmower and see what happens, okay? Okay, so here we are back over at the mower, and we're going to put our carburetor back in place. And as you can see, I have this piece here hooks in, our throttle linkage hooks in like that, and then swings around like that. and only one end will go in. So now the other end goes over here on the governor and hooks in like that. Now, turn the carburetor around the right way, George. That goes on there. And you saw me take it apart. It goes back together the same way it came apart. So you probably don't need to watch me fiddle around putting the bolts and stuff in. Okay, let's see if I can get this down off the lift without dumping it on the floor. As you saw me having a difficult time with it before, and that's the way it's supposed to work. It's been a while since I've used it. Now I do need to put more counterbalance on this when I'm swinging it out off to the side mainly. So, yeah, let's take it outside and try it out. Okay, let's see what happens. I put a little more gas in it. I put some dry gas in it because we saw water in the float bowl. And I put a little bit of seafoam in it. So let's see what happens. Well, there's number 2, and this one here is self-propelled. Somebody had wired the adjusters on the front across there. They must have kept popping off and changing their adjustment, but I'll see if I'm going to mess with those or not. So I may be giving this one to my son. He has one similar to it that has some issues, so I may just swap him and let him take this one. And he can do with the adjusters as he wants. So we got 2 down and 1 more to go.